Alright. I have no idea what it was when I stood on the stage without even opening my mouth and maybe burst forth with laughter. But what I will say is, honestly, carry on. Like, I'll take it where I can get it, do you know what I mean? And my name's Jacob Hatton, you know, no jawline, just vibes. I'm a big music fan. You a music fan? Yeah. Yeah? It's not a hard question, man. A lot of drinks between the start and this, but you know you have those songs, right, that remind you of what it was like to be at a specific time of your life, and you know, maybe you haven't heard it for a while and it comes on the radio and you get that immediate sense of memory and nostalgia. You got songs like that? Yeah, me too, man. For me, that song, hands down, Happy Birthday. So it's Halloween this week. I'm a huge Halloween guy. Any Halloween fans in?
Yeah.
You gonna go to a party? Gonna dress up? What are you going as? Sick? No, I love it, mate. Fucking classic Halloween thing. No, it's fancy, it's dress up, it's all good. Like, I don't like it. Like, I don't like it when people come to Halloween parties as like real fears. Like, probably like esoteric. Like, you go in, you're like, oh, I'm Harley Quinn, I'm the Joker, and your mate goes, oh, I'm the concept of inflation. You're like, what? The purpose of Halloween is not to be actually scared, it's to laugh at fancy things that aren't scary to keep you away from the real fear. Like, I'm not scared of ghosts, right? Like, and I'll tell you why, right? It's because I do comedy, because I'm what of the millennial generation, right? I've almost certainly ruled myself out of ever obtaining enough funds to purchase residential property, right? So I feel like, come on, it is what it is, I'm realistic. I just feel like if I ever go to a big mansion that's haunted by a spooky ghost and then I die and come back and haunt it too, that is at some level property ownership. I'm on the ladder, aren't I? You know, Jacob's ladder. And delayed going, oh, that is a person over here laughing like she's marking my work. That is a joke. I'm not very, like, they're remaking Scream, they're remaking it again. Again, Scream, don't respect him fundamentally as a villain. Like, I feel like, fuck it, I think I can defeat Scream, not a problem. Like, I don't know. Like, look, at the end of the day, guys, like, when it comes to physical confrontation, like, I'm roughly what you think I am, right? So I'm not saying I could definitely go, like, mano a mano against a nutter with a knife. But what I am saying is that Scream's murder setups fundamentally rely on there also being present a large Californian-American mansion for him to hide in. And I just feel like the effects have been muted in my one-bedroom flat in California. You know, he rings me up and he's like, I'm in your house. And I'm like, you in the bedroom, mate? And it will be like, yes. Even if I'm in the bedroom, right, and he's in the other room, and he rings me up and I'm like, I've missed that, I fucked that bit up, but you know what? I'm in the kitchen, that's fair play, I've got my own knife one-to-one. Like, even if I'm in the bedroom, he rings me up and he goes, I'm in your house. I'm like, are you in the kitchen? It'll be like, yeah. I'll open the window and call to the dealers who are out outside on the streets. Be like, look, there's another man with a knife and a mask in your turf. So come on up. I think the only way I could really make it work for him is if he started ages off down the road and I had to buzz him in like a delivery driver. I'm outside. You wearing a mask? Yes. Although it's very COVID safe. To be honest, by the time I've got him in the house, I'll probably end up living with the guy, do you know what I mean? I'm always on the lookout for new bromances, new housemates. And when it comes to men, right, Scream would only be the second most psychotic man I've ever known. I'll tell you about, I'm in Bristol tonight, and the man I'm talking about is Bristolian, so I will tell you about him for a treat, right? And his name was Matt, right? And I'm gonna, right. Did you correct me? About my own housemate who I really live with. No, his name was Miles. I'm like, it was definitely Matt. What the fuck? Oh, no, he's still. Is he not here anymore? He's still very much at large. Right, I'm gonna say a sentence to you about what I think I did with Matt, right? And I need you to not judge me for this sentence because I just say that just this sentence does imply some level of judgment, right? Basically, Matt and I, we bought a sex doll together. Oh, come on! Look, we were poor, we were students, we couldn't afford 2 sex dolls, like... You either... Come on, like, you either buy one with your mate or you get one second hand, like, at least when you get one with your mate, like, you know where it's been, right? Now... I left Matt alone in the flat with the sex doll. Now, I'm going to say this, right? I didn't think of it at the time as leaving him alone with her. And again, I didn't, at the time, assign it any personhood. And perhaps I should have done, because I went on the night, I didn't know there was a level of trust we needed with this. I went on a night out, right? And I came back from the night out, and Matt had hung the sex doll off one of the lamps and stabbed it repeatedly. Now, I don't know what this says about me, right? But I live with him for 2 more years. I just feel at the end, if I live with Scream, at the end of the day, if he does the washing up, I'm good. Like, and there'll be weird stuff he does. Do you know what I mean? Like, he'd probably want there to be a house phone in there for some reason. He'd occasionally, like, you get the voicemails back because he'd forgotten to put his, like, number disguiser in, and I'd just be like, oh, Scream, can you remember not to... someone's saying, can you call and... Can you just remember not to use the phone for this? And he'll be like, oh, that's the council. And I'm like, oh, sorry, that's me. By the way, like, I'm just going to say this, like, it's like Halloween, it's not about real fears. And like, we need to be out here, because it's been a tough time for us all, do you know what I mean? Like, I've been, I'll open up to you about this. I miss stand-up comedy over lockdown so much, I had to do therapy. The therapist said to me, Jacob, all the things you're thinking and all the things you're feeling, the idea that your life, it's been taken from you, the things that you have, they're going and they may never come back. Remember this, we're all thinking that too. and you're not alone. And I was like, how does that help me? At least I just thought I was sad, I was special. Also, what kind of fucking advice is that? Oh, that's like the captain, me being on the Titanic and going to the captain of the Titanic, excuse me, I think this boat is sinking. And he goes, yeah, but we are all sinking together. I don't know what this says about me, by the way, but in a single 45-minute of Zoom therapy taster session, I've secured from her exactly 7 laughs, which says to me, I'll play any gig. I don't know, like, I want to open up to you, like, you've got to talk about mental health these days, you know what I mean? Like, if you're a man, like, especially, you're one of the fellas, you've got to talk about your mental health, right? Like, it's okay, they say, to not be okay. Which is nice, right? But you wouldn't do that with any other kind of health. Like, if I broke my leg right now on stage, and I just called out to all of you, please, I have a broken leg. You just wouldn't look at me in the eyes and go, and that is valid. Genuinely, I don't think I'm going to be able to walk, and you'll go, and I'll say, please give me medical attention, and you wouldn't just go, okay, right, I will get you medical attention, but first I'm going to film a TikTok video where we dance to the tune Walk This Way, whilst explaining that the term walk is problematic for the non-paramilitary community. And I'll be like, no, please, the pain, and you'll just say, it's okay to not be okay. It's hard to moan about that kind of stuff too, because like, I'm not, right, like, at the end of the day, like, I'm not from the kind of background, like, I was talking to my mum about this, right, and the problem is I'm not from the kind of background where, like, you get therapy, right, and so I was moaning about how bad the therapy was, and even during therapy, again, you have to open up about all the bad things that have happened to you and all this and that, but the problem is that I'm not from that background, and so to my mum, just the fact that I'd got therapy, right, was a sign that I was kind of like making it. She'd be like bringing up my grunge, like, oh, how's Jacob doing down south in London doing comedy? My mum would be like, amazing, his health problems are only mental. Environment's fucked, innit? It's a bit of a science. I don't know, like, I'm an environment, I'm pro the environment. There, I said it. You know, you get a lot of controversial statements in this. I said it. I don't care what any of you think. Any of you anti-environment people out there, people are going, let the planet burn. I'm pro it. Like, in fact, I'd go further. Even the Extinction Rebellion, right? I think that nature should do to man what man has done to nature. Which is why when I'm not doing this, I like to indulge in my hobby, which is tattooing the names of trees onto the bodies of young lovers. The young lovers just wake up. Who the hell is Joshua? Someone over here just going, that's good. Well, thank you very much. I normally receive feedback in terms of laughter, but I will take vocalisations too. I think this is pretty much my time, so I'll just say this, right? Like, thank you so much for coming out here. Thank you so much for enjoying this. Like, I do get imposter syndrome when I'm doing stand-up. And if you don't know what that is, right, it's a feeling where whatever you're doing, like, even if you're doing it really, really well, like tonight, you get that voice in your head saying, that's not really you, that's someone else, because you're just a little worm. a little worm, right? And they, out there, they know it. And one of these days, afterwards, they're going to come and they're going to get you. And if you don't understand what that's like, right, I'll leave you with an image to explain it. Do you remember in year 9, right, how every now and again, a PE teacher will come and give a substitute geography lesson in full tracksuit. Hey, give it his best shot, you can see the fear in his eyes. All the sweaty kids on the front row with their inhalers, just like, oh sir, now the hunter has become the hunter. Thank you so much, it's a killer to